Imagine living in a society filled with idols, injustice, and deep-rooted traditions where questioning the norm could make you an outcast. Now imagine standing up alone with a voice that says, "There is only one God." That was the world of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he received the divine call to spread Islam. This is the remarkable story of how Islam first began in Makkah, the struggles of the Prophet, and the courage of the very first believers who risked everything to accept the truth. The beginning of the call. After the first revelation in Cave Hira, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was chosen by Allah to carry the greatest message ever given to mankind, the call to worship one God and live by justice, mercy, and righteousness. For the first 3 years, the Prophet called people privately, inviting only those closest to him to the truth. The first to accept his message was his beloved wife Khadijah, R.A., followed by his loyal friend Abu Bakr, R.A., his young cousin Ali ibn Abi Talib, R.A., and his servant Zayd ibn Haritha, R.A. These early believers formed the very foundation of Islam. The private dawah, the Prophet, peace be upon him, knew the society of Makkah well. The Quraysh were deeply attached to idol worship, tribal pride, and social injustice. To suddenly call people away from idols and to worship one unseen God was revolutionary. So for 3 years, he invited people quietly. Abu Bakr, IRA, who was known for his kindness and wisdom, personally convinced many others to accept Islam, including great companions like Uthman ibn Affan, R.A., Talha ibn Ubaidullah, R.A., Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, R.A., and Zubair ibn al-Awwam, RRA. These names would later become some of the strongest pillars of Islam. During these secret years, Muslims would gather at the house of Al-Arqam ibn Abi al-Arqam, near the Kaaba, where they prayed together and learned the Quran. It became the very first Islamic center in history. The public call. After 3 years, Allah commanded the Prophet to spread the message openly. He stood on Mount Safa, calling the tribes of Quraysh together. He warned them of the day of judgment and urged them to worship Allah alone. But instead of listening, many mocked him. His own uncle Abu Lahab insulted him, saying, "May you be ruined! Is this why you gathered us?" From that day on, opposition grew stronger. The persecution begins. When the Quraysh realized that Islam was spreading, they tried to stop it by mocking, torturing, and even killing the new Muslims. Bilal ibn Rabah, R.A., a slave, was laid on burning hot sand with a heavy rock on his chest, ordered to give up Islam. But with every breath he whispered, "One. Sumayyah, R.A., one of the earliest Muslim women, was brutally martyred, becoming the very first martyr in Islam. Many others were beaten, starved, and humiliated, yet they stood firm. The Prophet himself was protected by his uncle Abu Talib, but he too faced insults, stones, and ridicule every single day. The growth of faith. Despite the persecution, Islam began to grow. The message of justice, equality, and worshiping one God touched hearts. People admired the Prophet's character, his honesty, patience, and kindness, even when facing hostility. When Umar ibn al-Khattab, R.A., a powerful leader known for his strength, accepted Islam, it shook the Quraysh. His conversion gave Muslims courage, and for the first time they prayed openly at the Kaaba. Lessons from the early believers. The story of these early years in Makkah is a story of faith, sacrifice, and resilience. Islam was not spread by swords or wealth, but by the unshakable belief of men and women who stood firm despite unbearable hardships. Every prayer we make today, every Quran we read, is built on the sacrifices of those first believers who refused to let go of the truth, no matter the cost. And so, the call to Islam in Makkah began with just a handful of people who stood against the entire world. Their story reminds us that true faith requires patience, courage, and trust in Allah. Today, as we remember their sacrifices, let's carry forward their legacy of strength and unwavering belief. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful Islamic stories that bring history to life.